Welcome to Bricks of Norway. Hi there, my name is Bo. It's the Christmas holidays and I'm trying to make another video. I'm still working on the video from PKH in April 2024. This video will be about my space display, and I'll talk about some of the other things that I brought that I didn't get to film because my phone ran out of space. Hope you all have had a fantastic holiday. Have time to spend with your family or Lego or friends. As I said earlier, I was attending PKH in April for my first time this year. I brought my space layout and some other things. I had some trains and had some buildings for the combined train city layout. I also participated in a couple of other small joint projects, an apartment building and then a shoreside project. The apartment building was the same same apartment that I had at Kloss 23. The seaside, seashore was a new project. The trains, well, they didn't run that much because, well, I was normally in the other hall, so it took some time to walk over, and well, half of the times I walked over to run my trains, the lines were busy, so I couldn't run them, and some of the trains didn't run as they should, of course. And the city, well, the buildings and the other stuff was just placed in the city, so at PKH there is always a mandatory build, and this year there was you are limited to a 16 by 16 plate, and you can build only, well, I won't remember how tall it could be, 16 blocks or something, but the thing is that it's placed on the wall, so everything will stick out from the wall. Everything being built upwards will stick out from the wall. And this year's task was to build a face. I think I used 3 minutes or something to build that face, and I actually won third prize. Yay! That's so nice for so little effort, but it was like an well, call it modern art, abstract art or something. As you can see, it's not a very realistic face, but well, it won me a prize. The set I won for my third prize was set number 7696 for a dinosaur fossil T-Rex skull. I haven't built it yet, but someday I will build it. Then there was my space display. I had requested 7 meters of the table, which I also got. I'm not sure if the table was 2 meters wide or 1.8 meters wide, but that means that I had between 12.5 and 14 square meters of space for my space layout. A lot of things you'll recognize from Kloss 23. This time I had some more space around it. It wasn't that crowded. There was some new things like the microscale space layout, which I built after the release of set number 40712 Micro Rocket Launchpad. I used two of those sets to have, well, be able to build two rockets, since you had the mobile rocket launcher and the stationary rocket launcher. So then I built two rockets, and I also built some other sets. The set number 40712 Micro Rocket Launchpad had small models of the set number 6950 Mobile Rocket Transport, set number 920 Rocket Launchpad, and set number 6803 Space Patrol. I had to make my version of set number 886 Space Buggy, and set number 6801 Space Scooter, and set number 6927 All-Terrain Vehicle. That was a bit, that was a tough one, but I'm quite happy with it. The functionality with where you back up to the container house station, whatever, and you close the doors, it lifts up so you can drive away with it. So it took a lot of time to recreate that function in the smaller scale, and well, it's not small enough. It's very wide, but that was the best I could do while still being able to place a space figure inside. But I'm quite happy with it, and it took some time to finding the correct parts for the canopy, both the top and bottom canopy. Also made set number 885 Space Scooter. That was my first space set, I think, so I had to build that one. And set number 8912 Seater Space Scooter. That was my second space set, I think, and I always liked that set, so I had to recreate that one. And I recreated set number 6841 Mineral Detector. I never had that set as a child, but a set I bought later, and I thought that was possible to recreate quite easily. And set number 889 Radar Truck, one of my earlier space sets, had to be part of the microscale space layout. I recreated the LL928 space cruiser. I haven't made the moon base, but I have made the crater plates and the landing field and the T-section road. Well, perhaps I should make the moon base as well. And finally I made set number 6861 X1 Patrol Craft. Not a set that I had as a child, but I thought that this is possible to recreate. So I'm quite happy with my microscale space builds. It consists of 3 48 by 48 base plates, which 2 of those were populated by craters and landing fields and T-sections. Also use a third plate not to make it too crowded. I expanded the layout for Class 24, but that will be another video. I brought my large 886 Space Buggy. I bought a large astronaut that I brought at Class 23. I bought some of the same space art, space logos, space postcards, both the original ones and ones I downloaded instructions for, and my own. Had a large image of one white astronaut. Had a spaceship launch, or NASA spaceship launch. Footsteps from the Moon, as a book from Bricklink. And of course my modern classic space layout. I don't think there was anything new for this display there, other than it was put together in a different way from Class 23. And as you can see, the monorail was quite bigger than Class 23, but with all the turns, twists and turns, it wasn't functioning properly. It jammed itself. It stopped too often. It's hard to get it to run all over the city. It's not impossible. Then the rail will be a bit more clumsy to make it to go over across the streets and everything. So haven't made that, and I was having I was experiencing difficulties with having the train run this time as well, and I guess it's partly because of all my twists and turns. And the reason why I had all those twists and turns was just to make it stronger. If not, it will more easily collapse. I guess I had to build a new type of support to make it stronger, to not fall over. It's not impossible, but I like the design. But I guess I have to do it some other way if I'm going to display this space layout another time. That might happen, but not at the time. Well, there was one thing I had finished from Class 23, and that was the gantry crane. The last time it was only, it was 2 plates, 2 48 by 48 plates, with an entrance and a gantry crane and some engines. This time I built a test rig for testing the engines, and also a control center for while doing the tests, and space for some more engines, and put lights in it. All this made it look more like an actually engine bay where you could have repairs on your engines, have spare engines, testing engines, and collecting and fetching engines to replace engines at the spaceship, and bringing the old ones back for maintenance. So I'm quite happy with it. It was a bit crowded, had some space limitations. I didn't want to go into another plane, but had already built a lot of engines. So perhaps I will redesign it, I don't know, but not at the time being. I was quite happy with the space layout. I didn't compete with the layout at Poklossal because I thought I wasn't allowed, since I had already used it at another place, but I was told that I could have entered the contest, so I could bring it another time and enter the competition if I want to. But that won't be 2025 at least. Having some more air really helped, I think. I still wish that I had been able to plan the layout more upfront, to know where things were going to be, so I didn't have to use that much time to try and reconfigure, try again, rethinking, reconfigure, putting up layout another time. But I haven't really found a version that I like. I would like a deeper table, I think 3 meters wide, 5 by 3 meters or something. But it makes it harder for people to see all the details, and it makes it harder to put up the display, because then you have to crawl over the table. But I think that might be an option for if I'm going to display it another time, to see if I can have a 5 by 3 meters, or just 3 by 4 meters for just the modern classic space, and another table for the microscale classic space and the space art. Perhaps that's an option. I don't know. Having people letting people walk all around the layout will help them see more details from all sides, so that could be an option. Having 2 tables is a bit difficult. I had tried that earlier. It's hard being at both tables at the same time. Well, we'll have to see if I'll display this layout another time. I have some other plans for a layout now, not space, so we'll see if I'm able to finish that one for the next exhibition. And if you want more details, watch my earlier videos about my space layout, or ask questions. I'll try to answer them. And you can find instructions for some of my builds on Rubricable. but not all. It takes a lot of time to make instructions, and I still haven't been able to go through all my old instructions to make sure they are up to date with part numbers from Bricklink after they removed a lot of part numbers and combined some old part numbers. So I should do that first before uploading new builds. Hopefully. I think this was all for today. And remember, if you're able to help someone in need, please do. Enjoy!